Hey guys, this is Iron Rip Bison. You're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J., alongside the leader of Squad Squad, Kaliko Yacht, who is not here currently, but who is here, the American Scooter Dust.
Hello, it's very nice, very able to be here.
You're supposed to be the American, not the Englishman, or, well, German, technically, that accent.
That was an Antarctican accent.
I think you need to get your book of accents down. Anyway, it's a great day for wrestling. Well, it was a great uh, week of wrestling for us. As last week on the show, we interviewed Sam Latorna. Great chat, great interview. Definitely a fan of Sam, and just a good chat with somebody on our side of the spectrum, which is always super interesting.
Just remember, we're on the spectrum. No.
And next week on the show, we got Rip Bison on. Um,
You were about to say Iron Mike Tyson.
I was. I definitely was. Rip,
Seriously? Oh, I love the guys at Wrestling with Entertainment. Oh, they do such good work.
and that was our cameo video that we got especially from Mike Tyson. We gave $500 for it. No. Rip, another incredible interview from Limitless, and started his own promotion with Domi EXO, Grind Pro Wrestling. Um, Lots of interesting and fun stories, particularly with Perry Von Vicious, and one with ZPB, a guy we interviewed, kind of an OG of Wrestling with Entertainment. So you definitely want to check that out. And here's a clip of it now. All right, and now we have the week after that. We have Lady Becca and Hayden Dutch Lu- uh, Louisville
Love. I'm
coming on from Fight Factory Wrestling in the UK. That is an incredible chat that you do not want to miss. The week after that, we got Mordor. And the week after that, Nico Maestro. So February is heating up, to say the least. But now that we're done putting ourselves over, time to get into the news. Um, One of the things I found super interesting was that WWE is reportedly interested in signing independent talent for short-term contracts or minor appearances here and there. Um, is that a good idea? Is that something that WWE will actually be behind? Because it seems like it's always been with WWE, you're either them or nothing. Scooter?
I think we're seeing an ever evolving market when it comes to talent and promotions, and it's slowly but surely favoring uh, the talent over the promotion now. Uh, Pretty soon, WWE is not going to be in a position, or rather, they will be in a position where this is what they're going to have to do to survive. They're gonna have to adapt. And I mean, add that on top of the fact that uh, that Triple H is not coming back to NXT.
This is very
That
true.
and that Shawn Michaels is basically now running NXT.
Who saw that coming?
Yeah, who saw that coming? Um, this is it's a it's it's a good business model, and quite honestly, I really think promotions really need to stop fighting against each other and all start working together at this point.
You know, that's not actually a bad idea to have, obviously your top guys, your Roman Reigns, your Seth Rollins, you want them under contract with you because they're your talent. But that undercard, which when it comes to WWE at this point has been a revolving door. It wouldn't be so bad to have like Brian Cage come in for 3 months and have a feud with Damian Priest and take the belt off him and have Cage be, a monster heel that Damian has to slay. I know that's not maybe the best analogy, but you kind of get the point, right?
Yeah, I mean it exposes the talent and it allows the talent to retain their identity.
Yes.
Because let's face it, they're not gonna sign for 3 months, 6 months, and
And be
suddenly
Sunset Cena.
change gimmicks.
Yeah. That being said, who are you interested in seeing from the independents, maybe another promotion, to actually come in and do something with WWE?
Well, I mean, the obvious one, if we're being if we're talking top promotions, it's Moose clearly. Um, but the one guy I'd like to see, Warhorse.
Because of the comparison to Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Hmm. Well, who would I like to see? Honestly, I'd like to see a Kennedy Copeland. But then again, I'm just a big fan of hers.
Yeah, maybe,
Deanna Purrazzo, I would love to see. That would be awesome.
maybe Tony Deppen. Uh, you
Tony would
know,
definitely
and
make sense.
AJ Gray.
Maybe an
Uh,
Effie?
Effie. Effie was the uh, hmm.
Maybe the Runway? I'd love to see some Tyler Klein and Calvin Couture on my TV.
Gregory Iron.
That would be. Oh, maybe a Matt Warner. And if we're going super crazy, Hammerstone.
Well, I mean, if he has it, of course. I mean, not not MLW's Hammerstone, Alex Hammerstone.
I mean, they could always get Landon Cutler.
I
But
mean,
it'll be interesting to see how this develops and where they actually go with it. If they go more of the route of younger talent that they could expose and test out, that would be pretty great. But if they're just gonna go with, a Jeff Jarrett, then and have him win the Intercontinental Championship from Shinsuke Nakamura, then that's probably not gonna work. No,
Clearly, it would not work.
yeah. You brought it up. Shawn Michaels is now running NXT permanently,
Well,
which
no, I mean, not necessarily permanently. It's just by proxy, all the stuff that Triple H was doing fell onto his shoulders.
and to a degree, you have to kind of feel a little bad for him that they put all that responsibility on him when he might not exactly know what he's doing. I mean, Triple H, at least when before NXT started, he was doing operations for WWE for quite some time before he started NXT. So he had that kind of experience backing him. Well, Shawn Michaels is just kind of thrown into the fire. And as we've seen, the product has been suffering.
Yep.
Right?
Uh,
Anything you want
uh, uh, apparently, the first name on the 2022 Hall of Fame classes leaked,
to add?
and surprisingly, it's Jeff Hardy.
I heard the opposite.
Uh, However, he turned it down.
Yeah. That's a very interesting topic, considering if they wanted him to be in the Hall of Fame, it kind of means that they feel Jeff Hardy's done. And the best step for him right now is to be in the Hall of Fame and get his flowers. Um, Jeff, and this is all rumor and innuendo at this point. Jeff rejected WWE's offer. Um, was it the right move by WWE to offer him more or less a Legends contract?
I don't know how much of it was, you know, pride or whatnot, but this seems really very um, eerily reminiscent of when Bryan Danielson was first released, only to be rehired a few months later. And now that this has come out, it seems like that's what they were planning to do all along. Once it was revealed that Jeff was battling his demons once again, that okay, we have to release you. We have to show that this won't be this type of behavior can't be tolerated in terms of in terms of public relations. And then once you know once you show signs that you're recovering and whatnot, then we'll hire you back. Uh, Jeff turning this down, I don't know if it's a matter of pride, a matter of hurt feelings, uh, or if it's a matter of Jeff really being off the deep end.
which is a little scary.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, and obviously, we could both agree on WWE wouldn't have just done this for anybody. They see a lot in Jeff Hardy. And also, you don't want to see Jeff Hardy somewhere else, especially when there's another big promotion with his brother in it that is more tag team based when it comes to their matches. Um, would it be a wise decision even at this point if AEW picked them up? Because you're not just dealing with, you know, the talent, you're dealing with the talent's issues.
I mean, given what's been said by Matt about Jeff, and that Matt stated that that he felt that Jeff didn't need rehab. Uh, um, it's it's also even more interesting because when he turned it down, Hardy asked for his drug test results from when he was released, uh, because apparently he knew he wasn't going to test positive for any recreational drugs. Um, Now, yes, WWE does not want Jeff in AEW. However, the Hardy Boys are the friggin', Hardy,
Grandpas.
grandpas at this point. Uh, so I think their expectation of the Hardy Boys revitalizing AEW's tag team division, uh, no, because at this point, the Hardy Boys together are a nostalgia act now,
More or less, yes.
and and Matt isn't even wrestling as more as he used to. Uh,
I kind of feel like Matt Hardy has a longer shelf life on him just from the way that he wrestles. Jeff, on the other hand, being the daredevil, charismatic enigma in his late 40s, I mean, there's so much you could do with that kind of style at that age before you kind of have to hang him up. You know what I mean?
yeah, but Jeff is under contract until March 9th. Um, so no offers can be made until then. Uh, but yeah, it looks like he's gonna end up in AEW.
It seems like this is more than just a failed drug test per se. It feels a little bit more bizarre than that. And obviously we don't know as that much about the situation on the outside. But do you think that Jeff and WWE could reach an agreement before then?
At this point, no.
Could you elaborate a little bit more?
I think I think Jeff thinks that he's burned that bridge. Uh, Basically, I mean, there's not that much else to say about it, really. Um, Jeff apparently feels slighted, and this is essentially, and I hate to use this analogy, it's the equivalent of sticking your fingers in your ears and going, la la la, I can't hear you.
I get that. I mean, weirder things have happened, so maybe they will come to an agreement. Right. Um.
Got an update on some possible Royal Rumble spoilers, or rather participants, I should say.
Maybe we should get into that in a moment. I wanted to
Okay.
talk about one of those possibilities being LA Knight and how WWE is kind of high on him right now. Uh, and they're also high on Von Head Forehead Too Big Wagner and
Five
Sal
head.
Quinn.
Vaughn Fivehead. It's not a forehead, it's a five head.
It might
Uh,
even be a six head.
God, if that's a five head, I hate to see what his five skin looks like.
And you're impressed with a six pack.
Uh,
Really?
um, yeah, LA Knight, yes. Oh, he's absolutely coming up. Zion Quinn has the look. He definitely has the look of being uh, a main eventer.
Which one's Zion Quinn?
The one who dressed up like Freddie Mercury back at Halloween Havoc.
All
The
I
one who put
remember was Kyle
Roberts.
O'Reilly
The one.
was in a terrible mustache.
The one who put Robert Stone through a table. The one who's been feuding with Legado del Fantasma over Elektra Lopez's affections.
Yeah, I haven't been watching NXT, but I mean, if he didn't pique my interest in the what 2 months that I watched NXT, then will he pique my interest on WWE TV?
He's if they push him as a monster, uh, it could work. Also, they gotta stop spelling his fucking name XYON.
Is that just a personal preference because of ADD or what?
It
OCD? Might be
it
wife
it
and spelling
it
mixed
it,
up.
it, it does not go together linguistically. This is torture to wrestling fans with ADD who have a penchant for for being grammar Nazis.
Speaking of grammar Nazis, Gunter officially changed his name.
Oh, what a video friggin' package! Jesus! Oh my God! Oh boy! Yes, yes. Walter is in the past. I never really was Walter. I am Gunther or Gunter. Gunter, 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 Gunter.
And he's looking for he's looking for the affection of Rachel.
Replace the G with a C, and you'll get what I think of the whole situation.
And we are being joined by Kaliko Yachts. What the fuck happened to my voicemail?
Just got in from work. Pug life. I have a pug. Jesus Christ.
Oh wow.
Pray for me.
I think that's something we'll unbox during the after the show. But what are your thoughts on LA Knight making a main roster debut and potentially a Von Wagner Zion Quinn call up as well?
I mean, we got to fill that roster out anyway, right? It's just a matter of filling it out. Uh, they cut a lot of people, so they got to fill it up with some people. But I think LA Knight has a chance to make it because he's got the charisma and he's got chemistry with people. So I think he can do it. The other two wild cards.
I agree with LA Knight. We spoke, back when he was still on NWA. I thought he was going to be the new NWA champion that led NWA into a new era. Obviously the pandemic happened, that didn't happen. And now and then he went to NXT. But he could do something significant on a Raw or a SmackDown. I feel like a SmackDown would suit him better.
Well, SmackDown, it's Roman's show, so Raw is more of the wild card than SmackDown because at least with Raw, once Brock's shadow is gone, there's a lot more people. He could actually shuffle himself into being a heavyweight champion.
Yeah,
SmackDown, it feels more like Roman is the head guy, and there's really nobody else.
Knight seems like he's he's the one who's going to get the proper push. He's gonna start out have one or two big programs. Then he's gonna move on to a mid card championship feud, and then 2 years. I'm gonna I'll make this prediction now. By WrestleMania 40, LA Knight will be WWE champion.
Damn. And I say damn, but that would not surprise me because he is that damn good.
Yeah, he's that good. He's got charisma. He's got the look. He can talk. It's not out of the realm. And Raw's got to start with some people anyway. Like AJ's out going to be out the door in a couple years, so that seems feasible. Not out the realm.
What about Von Wagner? Did his fracture just take over his personality, or can they pump some of it back into him for a Raw or SmackDown debut?
Depends, because I feel like he would be better in a tag team or mid card team, but it just depends on who they put him with to start. Because unlike Eli, he, the right person is going to have to pull it out of him.
So basically, do the Omos thing with
Yeah.
Wagner.
Yeah, because I mean, the right person pulled it out of him. AJ. Same with Austin Theory. Like, yeah, Vince got him, but that match with AJ on Raw was really good. And it made him look good.
It really
So
did. Um, it's just interesting because they also said that their lack of experience, they're willing to look over the lack of experience with those two guys, Zion and Von Wagner, if they have potential. Is that
well,
Isn't that just a good way to say that the crowd is going to bury them if they come on Raw, SmackDown, and underperform?
the number one thing is coachable and moldable. And plus, I think it's also a point of emphasis of there's no definition to them like a Kevin Owens, right? like when Kevin Owens got there, we thought Kevin Steen was going to be Kevin Owens, right? And to a degree, it is, but it's not to the scale what the fans are used to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they can they're the clay in this thing. They can mold them to however they want to see fit.
And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, bringing in independent talent from either other promotions or independent shows to be essentially an independent contractor and work a couple months with WWE and then go on their merry way. Would that actually benefit a Zion Quinn and a Von Wagner? Or would it kind of just, how do you say, show the holes that are in there?
Well, it depends because I mean they're new, but in order to see them succeed, sometimes it's okay to let them fail, right? Like we let Cena fail, we let Austin fail, we let Triple H fail, we let The Rock fail, we let all these people because we think about the end result, but we don't think about the journey, right?
What?
And that's where I think we get impatient because we want these new stars, but we want them to be instant and da da da. And it's like it's okay if they fail as long as they know what they need to do to get better and get back on the horse.
Alright. I think we talked enough about this unless Scooter has any last comments on the matter.
Nope.
Alright.
Go dogs! That's what he got to say.
And what's your real feelings about Alabama, Kaliko?
Fuck Bama. Well, we beat Georgia. We beat them. I don't care. 1-4. I'll take my one.
um, Danhausen is all elite housing. It's very nice, it's very evil.
Very nice. Very evil.
Scooter, your thoughts on Danhausen?
By the way, I am now Scooterhausen.
Okay, Scooter Hausen.
Yes, I have to bring this up that on a YouTube clip of of Danhausen's that from about 3 months ago, somebody and I found this by sheer happenstance. Somebody put in the comments of the video, "Oh, if Danhausen were to debut, or were to have a lights out debut, the world, the arena would crack in half." And I'm like, wow, that was eerie. I'm also like, hi Tony, uh, but that was an absolutely perfect perfect way to not only show that Danhausen has arrived in AEW, but the fact that he's still injured, he's still recovering.
With a corset leg.
Yes, you're not cursed. Uh, you know, going back and watching all of Danhausen's stuff, his when he had Xavier Woods on his podcast and when he did oral sessions, um, and watching his match from Halloween 2019 when he dressed up as Cold Steve, uh, you know Austinhausen. Now, I can almost guarantee that Tony Khan is going to purchase the rights to tequila.
Probably.
Um,
Or at least lease it.
Now, clearly, when Danhausen is ready to go, clearly his first match is with Darby.
Is it though?
I mean, that's almost everybody's. All the big debuts get Darby first, but
Either Darby or
there,
Cody.
um, but there's gonna have to be some sort of interaction, between Stinghausen
Oh God.
and Danhausen and Darbyhausen.
Kaliko, your thoughts on Danhausen?
That silence is pretty much my thoughts on that.
So he was about to say who?
Exactly. I was about to say who, but it depends on where they fit them, man. Like everyone's getting hyped for these signings, and I love it. I don't get me wrong, but whose detriment will that signing go to, right?
Mm, But here's the thing: Danhausen is probably the only talent who can show up on a show, do nothing, and still be considered a success.
I mean, Orange Cassidy. Anyway,
Uh, I mean, Orange Cassidy, at least has the
Wrestling
uh,
ability.
slow chin move.
the he beat Chris Jericho and Adam Cole. Orange Cassidy.
So, first and foremost, I will say that it may be placed to his advantage that he is injured Hausen with a crossed leg because now they have some opportunity to build them up and have people actually figure out what the fuck this guy's all about. Um, they won't get far with that because he's Danhausen. Um,
Well, no, James,
yeah,
I'm going to stop you right there, and we're gonna say this correctly. One syllable, Danhausen.
Danhausen.
Thank you.
Because
He's
I
not.
paused?
He's
Really?
he's not. He's not Danhausen.
He's Danhausen.
And
Better than Fierza.
Fuck you.
I mean, he could. He could have been, Donovan Danhausen, but and if you get the chance, check out Chris Van Bly's interview with the out of makeup Danhausen.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing
Or
I have,
maybe Inhuman makeup.
my problem with Danhausen is how do you introduce him to a TNT or a TBS crowd that has no earthly idea who he is? And he's a very niche type of wrestler, and then there's just the simple fact that Danhausen is very, I mean,
Thin.
there's no better way to put this. He's creepy looking.
I mean,
So, is this just a niche signing because the crowd actually know who he is going to pop? Or is this kind of just to endear, trying to bring in new people that they think TBS and TNT will like?
honestly, I don't think AEW is about what the networks want.
Well, no, I mean the crowds that they'll, you know,
Um, Cleveland was fucking chanting his name. It was on par with CM Punk's debut chant.
what what say you, Kaliko?
Really? I mean, CM Punk had people crying. I don't know about that.
I don't know how. Let me ask this: do either of you see Danhausen as AEW champion in the next 5 years? Kaliko?
Fuck no, no. Unless they have a trio and it's like an odd couple thing.
No, but again, Danhausen doesn't need it. He
Yeah, there are some people who don't need it, so I
we
agree with
we
you.
we we finally have a talent who can be the highlight of the show, and it doesn't revolve around the championship.
Yeah, it kind of seems like he'll be like that guy that kind of creeps around till someone gets tired of him, like a Wardlow or something. And then, he'll get the instant face heat because he's minding his business and somebody's fucking with him.
Well, it's only going to be interesting what they do with Hemhausen, and hopefully it's actually interesting. So
Now, it'll be even more interesting if he shows up at the Rumble.
that would be very interesting.
And maybe A&W can now sponsor AEW.
Man, that was such a missed opportunity, and I still feel like that should have been their number one sponsor. But
Oh, let's go get some hamburgers.
Let's go.
well, somebody that got signed to somebody that wants to get fired. Mustafa Ali was trending online with the hashtag Free Ali. They're treating him like he's a captive of war or something. He's getting paid. He's probably going to be on TV. Is this people kind of making more of a big deal out of something that shouldn't be that big of a deal? Kaliko?
Yes, they are. Because it's like, yeah, does he want to be free? Yes. Does everybody want him to go? Yes. Is it life or death if he gets fired today or tomorrow? No, because what's going to happen is that he's going to get released. Everybody's going to be like, "Yay!" And then he's just going to be chilling in the background for a minute, and everybody's going to forget about him. I just hate how this plays out with like talent because I feel like sometimes we play with their lives as if it's ours. It's kind of like living vicariously through them, being able to want to get fired and leave their job that they really hate but they don't have nowhere to go type of deal. So it, he should have handled it the right way from jump, but I get his frustration. And that's the one thing that gets missing out of all of this is his frustration. Everybody's more concerned about him getting free, but what is he getting? What's going to happen after the fact? You see what I'm saying? Everybody's here for him to get free, but then when he gets free, then what?
Right.
Are you going to support him with merch? Are you going to do all this? How is it going to work?
What say you, Scooter?
3 words. It's a work.
Really?
What, Mustafa Ali world champion?
Well,
Okay. Ali is not stupid. He is not a stupid man. He wouldn't be putting an Instagram story out on, oh, I'm gonna tell everybody I'm gonna ask for my release. No,
You have a point there.
like
And but we've seen that happen with FTR. See, that's the problem. It's like precedence is what was dictating this, right? Like for every Rockstar Spud work or Mark Henry work, there's several Luke Harper FTR stories
Very
that
true.
did the same thing. So it's like one of those things where it's blur. I can see your point. I totally can see it. It's like a blurred line.
because Ali was the face for them of of a certain demographic, being Chicago police officers. Uh, um, but they this just it screams work to me. If it's not, and he does get released, the question is, one is, do they have the option to automatically renew his contract? First of all, secondly, if he does get released, he won't wrestle again.
You don't think an AEW or New Japan would pick him up just for that spiteful signing? Oh, he
No,
got that guy that
No,
we thought wasn't
no.
very
no,
good.
no.
I think he's become. If this isn't work, then he's become very disillusioned with pro wrestling and would want to be far away from it.
Interesting. Well, it is, again, it's an odd situation, and like you said, Ali's not a dumb guy, but, it could just be sour grapes at this point as well. We've seen a lot of guys get jaded with being in WWE because they're not getting what they feel they deserve, quote unquote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
But the question is, what do they deserve? Because this is where it comes into play. You don't get what you deserve, you get what you can leverage.
And that brings us into probably our last segment of the show. Ronda Rousey is still under contract with WWE, and she has reportedly been training for an in-ring comeback, specifically the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is later today, and if you're smart, how should you listen to it, Scooter?
You should listen to it on the Remix, the only live streaming premium live event coverage podcast on the web today.
Alright, what are the possibilities of Ronda Rousey actually coming into the Royal Rumble? And what is the percentage of her actually winning it if she actually does compete in it? Scooter.
If she's in it, 100%.
Uh, if she's in it, hmm, honestly, I see maybe somebody else uh, eliminating her for heel heat and getting or or Ronda turns heel.
Well, wasn't Ronda a heel to begin with?
Face.
I mean, at Mania 35, she was heel.
I mean, she didn't turn heel till freaking half of LA turned on her, which was my Survivor Series pick match, which you can listen to back in our previous episodes.
In the archives. Um, it was reported that in the betting odds it was heavily favoring Bianca Belair for a repeat win, and then that quickly shifted back to Ronda Rousey once it was announced that she's making a return. Um, I mean, in all honesty, it does make sense if she won because you have that story with Becky that needs to be, I don't want to say retold, but told to its
Finished.
finished, yeah.
That's why. If she comes back, she's winning. She's facing Becky at Mania, and that will be one of the main events because that's the only way it can happen.
I think there's more than untold, uh, an unfinished story with Charlotte than Becky.
True.
True, but the Becky Ronda thing was something that was getting started but never finished.
And we still haven't got that one-on-one match.
Yeah, the one that everybody thought Becky was gonna lose, and they were gonna riot at her in LA anyway if she lost.
Very true.
Uh, Honestly, if she's in, I do not believe she will win.
Because I think if as much as if Bianca wins, she's gonna have to go to SmackDown. I can't, but I don't see that happening. I don't see her repeating.
I didn't see that either. And last week when we did our predictions, her name didn't come up a lot. But I mean, it's not under the realm of ideas that can't happen. I would say.
I mean, considering, well, there's, uh, we now have Caitlyn, former WWE Dio champion Caitlyn, in the, she's in town, most likely going to make a Rumble appearance. Ivory as well. Uh, Possibly Oksana, Cameron, Melina. Melina is almost a definite at this point.
And that's why I think Lita would be Charlotte's opponent. I keep it the way it's going. It seems like it's heading that way.
Asuka is supposedly coming back. Kairi Sane making a return.
Possibly yes.
Um, and um, and Ronda. However, if you if Oksana's kept her hair dyed, you could just call her Trish Stratus version 2.0.
Or Mandy Rose.
Uh, Also, most likely making an appearance in the Rumble, Raquel Gonzalez.
I heard Io
And
Shirai as well.
yes, Io. Uh, and I have a feeling they're going to attempt to have Raquel run
The Diesel
uh
position.
basically.
Yeah.
Oh, the Iron Woman.
No,
Yep.
the most eliminations.
Oh, that's the question. Who's going to be the Iron Woman? Because it's always been Sasha.
Well, Sasha's in it. She made a return tonight, last night on SmackDown.
But 3 years in a row at that position.
Yeah, Well, I mean, Billy was the Iron Woman last year.
That's my point. I mean, your point. Good point. Touche, sir.
But going because I mean, Oksana and Melina aren't going to win the Royal Rumble. I think we already know that. One interesting thing was that Iconics actually turned down a position in the Royal Rumble. They just said that they were happy where they was in Impact, which is, honestly, I kind of respect.
Yeah.
Too many. It's too fresh. The wound's too fresh for them.
Fair enough. But
Uh, you also have now Sonya Deville officially in.
and this is
Um,
when we had 21 women already confirmed to be in the Royal Rumble.
and and now Naomi and Sonya are officially announced, so that now leaves 7 spots in the women's uh match.
Well, one is Sasha for sure, possibly Ronda. That leaves 5. Oh, Melina and Oksana. That leaves what? 3. Who else? Pos- eh, well, maybe Kairi Sane. Oh, Asuka is definitely one.
Uh, well, again, they are in town. They are in town. Uh, so as of this recording, there are still technically 7 spots open.
Well, is that 7 including Sasa or 7 excluding?
7 including.
Oh, including Sasa. Okay, so that's
Yeah,
okay.
7 spots.
Well, it's definitely things just got a little bit more interesting if Ronda comes in and they pull an audible to get her to win. Because I had my eyes on Naomi. We all had our eyes on Bailey. So, the, the, first and foremost, does Ronda Rousey need a Royal Rumble win in order to challenge a Charlotte or a Becky?
No.
No, but it's more about the buzz of Ronda Rousey coming back and winning.
But honestly, I think Bailey would get more of a reaction.
She
Especially
would.
if she's in a hugger form.
Uh, let's face it. There's only, I think, one time in Royal Rumble history that a superstar was supposedly injured and out for a long time, and then boom, not only returns at the Rumble, but wins it.
Edge?
Triple H?
Cena in 2008.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Cena.
true. Yeah.
Uh, I'm talking surprise entrance. Edge was announced. Edge announced his participation.
Not in
Uh,
the 2010?
2010.
Yeah, he won 2010.
Oh, 2011.
Was it?
Oh no, 2010. Yes, it was 2010. 2010. That was 26. Um, yes. But no, he was. Everyone knew he was returning. Then it wasn't. It wasn't a complete. It wasn't a total shock.
I see what you
When
mean.
when it was when it was Cena, it was we all thought he was going to miss WrestleMania.
I get what you mean.
That's how much it was. Uh, so
Is
I
there?
I I I think if Ronda and Bailey both return, I think our final three are Bailey, Ronda, and Charlotte.
Hmm. I mean, there's always the possibility that Ronda doesn't appear at the Royal Rumble, or she could make an appearance after whoever wins.
Again,
They wouldn't do that to Bailey.
they want Ronda to point the WrestleMania sign again.
I mean, they did it to Asuka. I mean, Asuka won the first year.
Ooh,
Who was the champion at the time?
she
Charlotte. She
So
picked Charlotte.
yeah, it was Charlotte and the other champion, whoever it was at that time, came in the ring, and then Ronda
Alexa
came
Bliss.
out.
It was Charlotte Alexa Bliss. Bliss went on with
Naya,
Naya,
that's right.
and Asuka picked Charlotte.
And,
But this one's different because
and then
think of
Ronda came out.
think of Ronda winning, and she's got beef with both, so it makes sense.
what? But what if it's hmm, this is brought up something. What if they run it back with Asuka in Ronda's position and Ronda in Asuka's position?
Ooh, that would suck. That would be pretty cool.
Because honestly, I'm not that interested anymore in a Ronda Rousey Becky Lynch match.
You would probably be the only person that's not.
I can see that point, but my thing is Asuka versus who? Becky? Because we've
No,
had
no.
that.
I think if Ronda returns, I think Ronda's not going to get in the title picture, and we're gonna have Asuka and Ronda,
Asuka Ronda? Ooh. Somebody get knocked out for real in that bitch.
or they'll pull the trigger on Ronda and Shayna, best friends.
You know that might. Baseball winning isn't maybe out of the realm of
Yes, it is.
possibilities.
The hell it is.
Well, if they wanna, make Ronda happy,
They, you know what? At this point, I'm saying Ronda ain't coming back for the Rumble.
do you make
that
it
would be
simple?
that would be the most simple thing.
You know, you're speaking like Ronda is God's gift to wrestling.
I would say that, but it
No,
definitely filled
I,
up 15 minutes of the show.
she's God's gift to media, and that's the point. And that's the issue. They got a stadium to sell 2 nights, man.
I mean, I mean, the only way Ronda could drum up interest for me is if she ran into the arena streaking her way to the Rumble.
I don't, well, I mean, they did just make a
Bring
pattern for WCW Uncensored, so maybe.
Oh yes, bring back the pudding matches and the gravy matches.
Now, with all of this chatter and debate as we have been for the last like 15 minutes or so, does anybody want to change their women's Royal Rumble pick?
Let's see. I said Bailey was my first. Charlotte was my second, and You know what? I think my dark horse, well, not dark horse. That's terrible. I think my alternate was Bianca, or was my alternate Becky? I can't remember. Either way, my alternate, I think I'm gonna switch it to, yeah, I'm gonna switch it to Raquel.
Kalika?
I had Bailey. I had Charlotte. I had Bailey, Charlotte, and Lita, if I remember. I'm gonna change it to Bailey, Lita, Ronda.
I had Billy, Naomi, and my dark horse mulligan was Liv. Now I'm changing Billy to Ronda. Because either one at this point is a long shot, but still could happen. Alright, uh, and that brings us to the men's Royal Rumble. If anybody wants to comment on that.
Uh, yes. Uh, so rumored to enter Shane McMahon,
That doesn't suck. I like Shane.
Bad Bunny.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be crazy.
Uh, I mean, I swear to God, if one and two are Bad Bunny and Johnny Knoxville,
That would be awesome.
uh, because let's face it, Knoxville is getting one elimination. We know this. Uh,
It may or may not be a ginger.
But think about that. When was the last time the first Rumble, where the first two entrants weren't wrestlers?
Elias and Jeff Jarrett. No. Ooh, wait a minute.
Damn. Damn.
You are
That's the other
correct.
thing. Ooh, could they be keeping us in the dark about Elias? Hmm.
Is he even still employed?
Yes.
Do they know that he's still employed?
Not sure. But
Not a
perhaps,
JTG moment.
but 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 perhaps the most interesting story I've heard is Kurt Angle,
No.
and not only that, some of the betting odds sites have actually thought of the scenario where Angle wins and challenges Lesnar.
Oh, wow.
Are they
Okay.
trying to kill him? Are they trying to kill Kurt Angle?
Is it a buried alive match?
It's going to be a buried standing up match.
So it can't be quick
It's an
match.
oxygen tank on a pole match. Uh,
It's gonna be a first 48 match because he's gonna get murdered if he gets in the ring with Brock now.
um, but I think it is almost I I say with 75% certainty that we're gonna see Moose.
That's a lot of percentage.
It it'll probably be the one really forbidden door opening in the men's match.
I feel if Moose does make an appearance, he would have to do something significant because he is champion for Impact, and they're not just going to make him look like a chump at a WWE event.
Now, I've heard the rumors that Moose might cost Roman the title.
No, that's too far of a stretch for me.
Uh, uh, but apparently Punk will be in the Rumble. No. Um, Braun Breaker
Of course.
is looking to be in town, and yes, Gunther.
I don't care about Braun Breaker, but a Rick Steiner wouldn't suck.
Hey, Rick, ooh, could Rick even go anymore?
I mean, it didn't stop the Orange Sheik from winning the gimmick battle royal.
Gimmick Battle Royal and these motherfuckers in their prime are two different people.
But yes, we are going to see Gunther in the Rumble, and I think uh, Gunther is going to be the Iron Man.
Well, we certainly know he can go 40, 50 minutes in the matches we've seen with him.
Of course, there are now only 5 spots left in the men's match
That's
with
very interesting.
with Nakamura, Rick Boogs, and Ricochet added.
Did you say Rick Boobs?
Boogs!
You totally said boobs.
No, James, I'm not the one who mispronounces stuff.
Fuck you. Um. So a lot of rumor and innuendo going into the Royal Rumble in a couple of hours. Um. Anything you wanna change from your picks from last week, Scooter?
I'm still going with Gunther to win. My I forget what my second was. Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I
Um, and then my mulligan was Pete Dunne. I'm I am gonna change. I'm gonna change this up, and still going Gunther to win. Possibly alternate winner. No, you know what? I think I'm still gonna keep it at Kevin Owens. Um, my mulligan, however, the mulligan. I'm yeah. You know, shut up. You know what? My mulligan is Damian Priest.
well, alright, so Damien Priest is your mulligan. What say you, Kaliko?
Mine were, if I'm not mistaken, Seth, Brock, and Bobby. I'm staying with those.
And mine was Walter Gunter, AJ Styles, because I will ride that until it actually happens. And my
Good luck.
And my mulligan for shits and giggles was Austin Theory. And yeah, I'll keep that.
You got
So
a better chance of getting a pug than AJ Styles winning the Rumble.
You had a better chance of pronouncing Fuerza correctly than AJ winning the Rumble.
He ain't lying. Jesus Christ.
alright, we shall see in a couple of hours because that's when the
Eh,
Royal Rumble is. And if
if,
you're
if,
smart,
I,
has to
if I'm
do
not
with
buried
something.
in snow.
It's snowing in Bama?
New York. Actually, yes, it is snowing in Alabama, too, actually.
We just got high winds in California.
I mean, unlike, the cocaine snow that's falling in California.
Oh man. They making it rain, that shit.
Okay,
Anything to pass
Scooter,
the COVID.
how should you listen to the Royal Rumble in just a mere few hours?
Well, if you are battling any of the, 35 new variants that just popped up in the last 5 minutes, you're going to listen to it on the remix only on UNB Sports, the only, still to this day, live streaming premium live event coverage. Hashtag choose your commentary.
If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment both on YouTube and Castbox. Of course, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Wednesday as we interview on Rip Bison. Um, and follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Wrestling with E. You can follow us individually as well. I am at James Shane 993. Where can they find Kaliko?
I am Kaliko, and after it feels like forever, we're finally starting the road to some kind of mania. Whether it's WrestleMania or COVID mania, one of them is gonna happen.
I mean, we've had COVID mania for the last 3 years,
Mm,
so hopefully
I-
that.
Oh, it's been running wild like, oh,
Maybe it's the road to Nymphomania.
ooh, I'm down.
Scooter, where can they find you?
They can find me being very nice, very evil, on Twitter at Scooter Dust, of course, with the remix in some minutes, and of course, join me along with Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of the Smoking Dragons clan, twitch.tv/Smoking Dragons.
For Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey guys, this is Brutal Bob Evans from Hangs with Bob Seminars and TheWrestleLife.com, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.